was standing at that counter, tapping my foot, arms crossed, willing her to move just a little bit faster. She clearly wasn't a get shit done sort of person, and she seemed to be talking to everybody more than she was actually making the smoothies. Now I was in a bit of a rush, and she didn't seem to get that. My son was beside me, and he said, "Hey, Mum, can I have a..." And I instantly went, "No!" That rage just radiating out of me. He looked up at me, understood, because I'd been at it many times before, that I just wasn't in the mood, and he created that space between us. I was irritated, and although I wasn't yelling, I was just radiating with rage. Sure, I was running late. Sure, she was being slow, but was that really enough for me to feel this so much rage inside? I don't think so. And I was snapping at my kids when they didn't really deserve it. As a mother, I aim to be calm and present and centered. However, perimenopause has other plans for me. If this sounds familiar to you and you're finding yourself maybe snapping at kids, maybe just really angry at your partner, all you need to do is look at them and you're just that full of rage and there's hate radiating off of you. And the thing is you don't even really know why. Sure, you can make up things in the head. They left the dishes out or they didn't do X, Y, Z. But really your rage is disproportional to what is actually going on. If this is you, you're not alone. During our hormonal fluctuations, perimenopause or mid-40s, whatever you want to call it, our stress threshold decreases. So what once used to be these little niggles, you didn't really get any emotional reaction from them, now it just seems to be hitting it all the time. And that's when you explode, you get angry, and that perimenopausal rage just oozes out of your system. So I know that you can feel like you're overreacting, and then you might, if you're like me, you feel instant regret, you feel guilt, you feel shame. We've got to realize that we're not to blame. However, we can do things in our diet and our lifestyle that'll help increase our threshold for stress. So hopefully some of those things won't get to you as much. You want to dive in and we'll explore them? When I go through coaching, I go through coaching in 4 areas. We go through diet, sleep, exercise, and stress. So when you've got perimenopausal rage, you can do a few things in all of these areas. The first one is diet. Now, quite often when my clients are perimenopausal rage, and I know for myself, is we're in a time in our cycle where our estrogen can be either quite high or really low. So having our estrogen pathways, our detoxification pathways, both in our liver and our gut, can be really good as getting on them. So the things that you can do really practically, first of all, is looking after your gut. So looking after your gut, because if we have things like the seeds, like flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, sesame seeds, all of those seeds can actually help regulate our estrogen metabolism. So adding seeds to your diet is super simple. Add it to your yogurt. Hemp seeds as well is a good one. Add it to your yogurt, add it to your salads, and even your smoothies. So adding it in is a really simple fix. So start there. Okay, the second thing we want to do is increase our cruciferous vegetables. So those are things like the kale, the broccoli, the cabbage, the cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, really good. These are really high in sulforaphane, which really helps our estrogen detoxification and balances it out. So increase this, it will be really good for you long term. If you struggle with this, then just at the start of the week, create a big cruciferous rich coleslaw, chuck in the fridge, and it'll be good to go for your lunches or dinners throughout the week. It keeps in your fridge for quite a long time. Just adding your protein and your seeds on top of that gives a great 1, 2, 3 meals, which if you haven't downloaded, go link the description, because I've got a really easy guide on how to do 1, 2, 3 meal guide. Third thing we can do is help prioritize really healthy fats. This is going to help stabilize our blood glucose and less of a kind of hormonal roller coaster, which then can affect our sensitivity. So prioritizing fats in like Greek yogurt, avocados, nuts and seeds are really good sources of that. So again, nuts and seeds over your salads, over your yogurts, that can be a really good one. If you're having fruit, don't have it alone. Have it with some sort of protein and fat like the almond butter or Greek yogurt. Those small things can be of really big benefit. Okay, let's get into like kind of lifestyle and stress management strategies. First of all, if you haven't heard about your vagus nerve, it's something that we can activate, especially during the perimenopause and our hormonal fluctuations, which can be really good for increasing our stress threshold. So small things like deep breathing. Remember, deep breathing, we want to breathe into our diaphragm. So breathe in, that box breath. I really, really like the non-sleep deep rest, is where I lie in the bed and I breathe into my diaphragm, and it's longer exhale than inhale. And that can be a really good reset for your vagus nerve. Other things you can do is cold water exposure, also humming and gargling. So these are small things which you can add on into any sort of routine, like your toothbrushing, if you do that night and morning. add a gargle in there. It doesn't have to be a Listerine or anything like that. It can just be water, and just gargling can be really good. Or hum as you brush your teeth. Again, small actions can lead to really big differences. Other thing for exercise, we really want to maintain our muscles. So prioritizing strength movements. If you're just starting, body weight will do. So that was going to be really great for your nervous system, which is going to increase our stress threshold. And then lastly, I go on about this, but prioritize sleep. It's not an inactive state sleep. We really need to prioritize it and not skip out. Now, I know a lot of you, if you're like me, you kind of get to the end of the day, especially when you're really, really ragey, you just want to spend your time alone, whether it's on Netflix or flicking through social media, and it's kind of like your time. However, if you're staying up late just to do this, you're missing out on the sleep and all the hormonal regulation, and that can lead to more perimenopausal rage. So do yourself a favor, set consistent bedtimes, and try get more sleep than you are getting. So perimenopausal rage is real. We might not be able to make everything go away in these actions. However, what we do in our lifestyle can pay big dividends. So it can get to a point where you're angry, but you're not taking out on everybody else around you, which then leads to decreased guilt and everything. So follow these small actions and see if they can help you. There are a few supplements that you might want to try. Magnesium glycinate or threonate is one of them. You've also got DIM. It helps estrogen support. I've found that to be really beneficial for not only myself, but a lot of my clients. Adaptogens can be really good, especially ashwagandha and omega-3s. If you're kind of confused about supplements because there is a lot out there and you might not want to take them all, you might just narrow your focus and take one, check out my Supplement Savvy course. It's to be released pretty soon. And it walks you through step by step how to choose supplements that are right for you in the right form, the right dose, the quality, everything. It's got AI prompts in there, so the heavy lifting is done for you. You just need a little bit of information through the course with video lessons, and then everything's done for you. So what are your next steps? Your next steps are, if you're going through perimenopausal rage and it is weighing on your system, then make sure you get good sleep tonight. Start there. Have protein in your breakfast tomorrow, and make sure you're having some seeds and some nuts over it. For lunch, have some cruciferous vegetables, get a really good, nice coleslaw going on. And then you can do some breath work and some vagus nerve activation, as well as some strength training. Do those. You don't need to do everything at once. Just start somewhere. Maybe it's prioritizing sleep. That's easiest to do, hardest, but easiest to do. So start there. And if you're really struggling, go and see a doctor who specializes in perimenopausal health. It's if your doctor has dismissed you, then just shop around and find someone who actually is knowledgeable in this area, because there are doctors out there that can really help. Go find support and just communicate this with your partner. I'll often say to Ben, hey, I know I might come across as shitty, but I'm just really angry and it's not targeted towards you. And that can be a really just kind of easier with our relationship as well. So making sure you're communicating with your partner makes things a lot easier. If you want to go into more about protein, check some links below, because protein is going to really help in that perimenopausal rage as well, just dialing in your diet. So start there on my other videos.